What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We're broadcasting live on December 13th. A little bit less if you celebrate that thing called Christmas. You got less than 12 days. It's counting to support it, whatever you're going to buy, gifts, etc. If you do that thing, I tell people the best gift that I can give them is me, or part of me. Reminds me of an old song, "You're the biggest part of me." I don't know who sung that. Was that Ambrosia? I don't know, maybe LaLa or, yeah, there we go. She's saying in the background, yes, yes, yes. It was Ambrosia, but loving it. And for just for people during the holiday season, the way it's looking right now for Primetime Saturday, we'll be doing another one on the 20th. We'll take a break. Now, this is not in stone on the 27th for live broadcast, but we'll be back the first Saturday of the new year. But things can change, and things do change. So I just want to put it out there. So I want to thank everyone who's watching live or on the replay. It's appreciated, not taken for granted. Looking forward to another epic conversation today. And it was funny. I was out today, and one of the reasons I wear a hat, if you don't know, I live in Toronto, and it can get cold, and it's cold in Toronto right now. It's cold. And one of the things I do is protect this. So I wear my hat. And I was at a store today and doing grocery shopping and putting my stuff in the grocery cart, and the guy goes, "Where'd you get that hat?" I go, "Well, I bought it at so-and-so." And he goes, "How much did you pay for it?" Should I tell you how much I paid for it? Okay, well, I have to wear a hat because Dr. Tachi is here today, and she's the hat aficionado. So and LaLa's got a hat on too. So we're hat posse today. We're hat posse. I'm not going to tell you how much I pay for it unless they ask me. So Primetime Saturday with Aisha and LaLa. Aisha's not with us today, but LaLa, and always remember, she's doing her she's doing her eagle spread. like all you need is some weights and just like little dumbbells. Just like, or is it dumbbells or barbells? Dumbbells. Yeah, dumbbells. Yeah, dumbbells and
yes. This is just me getting ready for the for today for the
yes, you gotta exercise yourself for prime times. And see, I even forgot to put up the lower third. I was just having so much fun. Hello, ladies. How art thou?
Good. It's been a good week. And then now you brought up that song, and I absolutely love that song. It just makes me happy. I love that biggest part of me. You're the biggest part of me. Sunlight, moonshine.
See, I was going to join in, but you were at too high of an octave for me. If you start where it is, sunlight, I can.
I'm a soprano, so that is people always say, "Girl, you always start too high."
I'm a straight alto, so no.
Well, I'm gonna ruckus all you. I'm a shower and car, meaning that the only places I sing is in the shower by myself and in my car by myself. So I'm a shower and car. This is
so
good. Oh, wow. People are just coming in already into the
that's a beautiful thing
into the chat. So we're gonna say hi already to Enlightened Love Beings. #love first. Good to see you. And your news topic, according to the U.S. Central Command, 2 U.S. service members and 1 U.S. civilian were killed, and 3 service members were injured as a result of an ambushed by a lone ISIS gunman in Syria. I didn't know about that.
No, this just happened not too long ago. This is very fresh news.
Okay,
It must be. Yeah, I didn't hear about it either. Wow.
I love how a member of the family is keeping us up to date on these things, because that is fantastic. Ladies, what's a win you've had recently?
I put up the Christmas tree today.
Okay. Is that early
So the
or late?
house feels very festive. And I put all of my nutcracker collection up and down our steps. Because when my son was young, every year it was a tradition for us to go out and buy a new nutcracker. So we have about 14, 15 of them. And so we line them up and down our steps.
Oh, that's nice.
You gotta send me a picture. You gotta send me a picture.
I love that.
That would be fantastic. Dr. Tachi.
Every day
Doesn't
is a
have to be
win.
big,
I can't
Dr.
think of
Tachi.
anything
Could be anything.
specific. Every day is a win.
There you go.
How about I
There
got to
you
stay in my pajamas long today? That's a win.
Ooh, that's good.
That's a win.
Me and my onesies, we've been real good friends.
You and that
I
damn
haven't heard
onesie.
that for such a long time live. I only usually hear it during the outro, but I got it live. It's onesie season.
Yes. Well, I'm in festive today because we just came from a holiday party. So
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
This is nice. This is nice. Fantastic. This is good. Dr. Tachi. So people who hang out with Dr. Vibe once in a while online, you'll be seeing a little bit of Dr. Tachi over the next few days. She was on yesterday on the Morning Vibe. There was a little bit of a hiccup, but we still recorded a great conversation. She'll be with us today. She'll be with us on the Morning Vibe next Friday, and she'll be with us on Primetime next Saturday, and maybe even before, because I don't think we'll get everything done about the year in media, tech, and pop culture in that conversation. Something's telling me it's not going to happen. I'm just warning you.
This was a particularly active year because on top of what usually happens, we had the political situation, which exacerbated and accelerated what happened in media. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so be ready to get your fair dose of Dr. Tachi. I think that'd be a great name for you, Tachi. I like that. No,
it would not be.
I know.
It's too common.
Oh, it's too what?
Common, meaning there are lots of people who kind of have that. They use the accented E at the end of their name for panache.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I will refrain from using it anymore. I've been told.
No, you could use it. This just would not be my name.
Well, that's good. This is good. Has anyone been to any good eating places lately?
Yes.
I've been cooking at home.
Okay.
So here's the thing. That's the thing. I usually cook at home too because I know what goes in the food, and I don't know if people wash their hands or the food. So, but I went to remember this whole thing that I've been on a high for. LaLa, I don't know if you know, but I got invited to like an influencer event.
I saw that.
Yeah. So it was at Nobu. So it was at the Nobu Hotel in Miami Beach, which is part of the same group, I believe, that has the Nobu restaurants. So Nobu is a swanky, high-end Asian fusion restaurant.
Yeah.
So I had some real, and you lived in California, so you know this. So I had these wonderful crispy Brussels sprouts that were amazing, just so good. And then there were like these kind of like taco things. So it was during their happy hour. Well, I wasn't so happy with the price. I don't know if I thought I was all big and fancy because I got invited to an event. Oh, I'm rich now. I was like, how much? It was
Brussels sprouts. They was good though. I know they was because I love the Asian Brussels sprouts. They're good.
So good. They were so good. But I'm like, listen, that's why today shopping, I went and got some Brussels sprouts so I can make them myself. Nobody won't be seeing me again unless you invite me for an influencer event.
There you go.
You know, it's interesting because there's been so many things lately that I'm like, I'm tired. I want to do this. I've learned to make my own chili powder. I make my own chili powder now. It tastes 1,000 times better. I make my own hot chocolate at home. I can control the narrative with that. Yesterday I made a huge pot of bean stew, and I'm just
Oh,
so good. Y'all, I did a video on it. That's on my Facebook page.
Oh,
okay.
okay. I'm gonna check that out.
Okay. Okay. No. Well, the reason why I asked is I did one of my few journeys into downtown Toronto last night.
Oh, you don't
And
say.
yeah, one of my few, very few, and was invited out to a restaurant. I'll give their name, Miss Lickamore's, which was actually featured in
Oh.
Top Chef Canada. And really nice place. The lady who's the head chef, she wasn't there. Lady and gentleman run it. And I ordered charcoal jerk chicken, and it was served flat. And I go, oh, this is interesting. And it was really nicely done. And it had seasoned with scallion and Scotch bonnet peppers.
Mm.
Very nice. I definitely liked it. And our waiter, he was really good. He was a really smooth guy. The DJ playing the music, he was amazing. At times, they have an open chefs are cooking in an open kitchen. The chefs were getting into the music when dancing while they were cooking, which was so good. It was a really good. So Lonnie from Miss Lickamore's, I got to send her a video message. I actually interviewed her a long while back, but yeah, really, really, really nice place. Definitely, if any of you come to Toronto, I would say definitely got to take you there. It's a little bit higher price, and not funny. I ordered a bowl of sweet potatoes, and more white and like darker, but I said no, it was Jamaican sweet potato.
Mm.
And
Mm.
they seasoned, there was a seasoning on it. I don't know what it was, but it was so good. Been a long time since I eaten potato, but that was a little treat. I just say, yeah, oh, this is good.
But it's sweet potato, so
yeah,
it has a lot of nutrients in it.
yes. And then the table beside us, they ordered some stuff, and I went, "What the heck is that?" And it was really, and I should have took a picture of it. A really, really wonderful way of serving coleslaw. It was like in a mound and shaped. It was I just went, "What is?"
Artistic coleslaw.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sculptures.
yeah. So I just thought it was, well, hey, enlightened beings love versus still eating Thanksgiving greens. All
My
right,
friend, well,
can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with that.
hey,
Can't go wrong with that. All right, since we got everyone hungry, we're going to take a little break. We're going to come back. We're going to do some housework. We got some. It never stops in America. Stories to chat about. But the first one I think is going to impact not only people in America, but definitely around the world, potentially. But there's a big fight going on. When isn't there these days in the media space, but an accelerated big fight going on in the media space. So we're going to look at that first. But first things first, let's go here.
Watch Black Canada Talking live on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, where Cesar and Dima Musa gives his takes and POVs on news stories from a Black Canadian perspective. You won't want to miss it.
Yeah, you don't want to miss Cesar. Cesar is always on point. We're going to be doing a show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Pan-Africanism. We're going to be talking, I don't think we're going to be talking about this, but he's going to give his take on the next Netflix documentary featuring some guy named Diddy. And there's another, he's going to talk about 47 and Venezuela and the Somalis. So I don't know if we're going to get to any of those things because we already got a full slate. But here we go, girlfriends chat. We have links there, but eventually it's going to YouTube. I've been told by Lady Aisha. So you can check those links for now. It's going to change. Primetime Saturday show. We've got that link there. Also, don't worry, LaLa, I have your link for your Etsy. So you're going to be talking about that today. Thank you very much. Join our Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com or click on the link you see on the page here. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, hit the notification button. Like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. And if you want to advertise your business product or service on any of the platforms I'm on, email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And now it's Dr. Tachi's turn.
Yes.
She adjusts her hat.
Oh, you want me to say? You want me to say it?
Of course, it's your
Oh,
platform.
okay.
I think you're the best person to talk about it.
Are you not a part of it? That's why I was just letting you
No,
go.
I'm a part of it. Who is it?
No, I don't know if I'm it, but IndieSoup Media is an independent platform for independent content creators that I am the founder of. You can find us on YouTube. That's our primary platform. And that's at IndieSoup Media at the end of the YouTube / at IndieSoup Media. You can find us at IndieSoup Media on every social platform with the exception of X, of course. And we're not on TikTok yet, but we will be. And if I don't say this, Dr. Vibe will say something. We are at 28,800 subscribers on YouTube and growing.
Thank you. In how long of a period of time?
When did we start? The March 2020. However long it's been. We started in March of 24, I think. Yeah, that's when we started. March of 24 last year.
And the funny thing is, people need to realize that only 4% of all YouTube channels have over 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's quite an
We always-
accomplishment. It's a beautiful accomplishment.
Absolutely.
It is great, but I'm not satisfied. So
There you go.
See, that's what keeps you moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, when that fire is in you and it's something of value like this, and it is something of priceless value, that drive is going to be there. And I'm proud that we're a part of it.
we're happy to have you as part of it.
Yeah. So LaLa, you told me you're part of a community that Tanya Smith is part of.
Yes, I am. AI. It's an AI community.
Yeah, and I think is the lady who runs it the lady that's on that other platform that you're on?
She has one, but that's not her.
Okay. I thought it may have been that. That's one thing. Other thing. Oh, so for both of you, since you're on YouTube, YouTube has now released another feature where people can give you or can voice message you, voice DM you. They're going to be
That could
releasing.
be frightening.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. So just a heads up on that. But look. Okay, I'm going to subscribe to IndieSoup.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
Enlightened Being.
you.
Awesome.
Jen Myers is in the house. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Jen.
Hey,
can I
Jen.
borrow some of your locks? Carrie Travis Solovesky.
Carrie?
Hello.
I don't
My
know.
friend.
He's in the house. And Jen says, hello, Dr. Tachi.
Hey,
So
Jen.
we got some family here. All right.
We do.
We're going to get to our first story. So as I told everybody, we're doing it a little bit different. We're going to take everyone off screen.
Okay.
And then we're going to play a little bit of probably about a 60-second video, giving a little background about our first story. So everyone's going to go off screen and we're going to just be patient.
Who's really in the lead to win Warner Bros? Here's the high stakes breakdown. Warner owns DC, HBO, Game of Thrones, and Wizarding World franchises every streamer wants. Netflix is eyeing Warner's assets with a deal that could make it the streaming king, but faces tough antitrust hurdles and a long approval process. Paramount, backed by Skydance, counters with a bold all-cash bid for the whole company, promising speed but needing huge financing. Wildcards like private equity or tech giants could still jump in. Odds? Netflix has synergy and scale, but regulatory risk. Paramount offers cash and control, but faces financing challenges. Expect decisions by 2026, but no sure winner yet. Who do you think takes Warner Brothers and why?
Our first conversation piece is
I feel like Dr. Tachi she's gonna have so much value in this. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of what I think, because I would love to hear if I'm on track or if I'm not with this, because I think you have so much to share with us on this and you understand it a little bit better. But, you know, part of being in the entertainment industry, I have a lot of concerns about this. So actually, I think this whole story is about who controls what we see and what we hear and what most people will believe. Because when I think of Warner Brothers, I think of Warner Brothers as like this giant loudspeaker. And it, of course, owns HBO, DC Movies, and CNN. And that means entertainment and news. But whoever owns the loudspeaker can influence the culture, our politics, and public opinion all at once. And the problem to me is there is dirty hands all up in this, although that's nothing new that we haven't seen. Paramount says it wants to protect Hollywood, and Netflix is saying it wants to like have control of millions of TV things, and they for their own different reasons. But when you start seeing that Kushner is also involved in this, and that is Trump's son-in-law, for anybody who doesn't know that, once again, they have promised that they're going to change the narrative of what we see to bow down to Trump. And, you know, critics and watchdogs are already saying that this is not a good thing, but Trump wants to align everything that goes with him. So this is not just who owns what. This is actually, to me, who controls the narrative. Like the main big part of this to me is the CNN. Like CNN is what matters so much to them. It's been a frequent target of Trump. It controls its parent companies, and that changes the pressures. And no one wants to walk into a newsroom and gives orders about Trump. But power doesn't work like that anymore. It works through budgets and leadership and all that stuff. But this isn't about someone just flipping a switch. This is actually, to me, Trump's whole plan of getting everything lined up with him. So of course they're going to push for that. To me, I think this looks like this is not just Netflix versus Paramount. I think it's power, influence, and I think that who gets protected and who gets exposed. This isn't about entertainment. It's a fight about who is going to have this megaphone. Now that's how I feel about it, but I'm going to be quiet because I have been waiting all week to hear what Dr. Tachi is going to say about this. So LaLa, stepping back. Am I off? Am I wrong?
No, you're not off or wrong at all. I think there's if I could add to what you had to say, 100%, it's about who controls the narrative. So if we're looking at it, here's the thing about what's happened with media in 2025. It, as I said, has become increasingly politically entrenched. Not that it wasn't before, but this administration has just made it okay and palpable for politics to be involved in everything. Okay, so you're 100% spot on. So isn't there a playbook that talks about control of the media and control of the, I don't know, I could be wrong. Am I right? LaLa, isn't there a playbook that, yeah. There's a whole playbook on called Project 2025 that talks about this. So this is really enacting their dream. So let's talk about who the players are here. So Larry Ellison, who is the co-founder of Oracle, and his son David Ellison, who is the founder of Skydance. Paramount and Skydance just merged, right? So you would think, well, why did you just had a big merger? Why do you need this? Well, it makes sense because the both of them are very friendly with Tang. They're very friendly with his camp. So of course, this makes perfect sense that they want to keep on that side. If you stay on the good side of the administration, chances are you are not going to run into problems when it comes to regulation. And again, with Netflix, the big thing there is antitrust, right? That is a huge thing, but it's not like that's not the case with this either, to be honest, right? There are some real concerns with this. So you're 100%. It's less about entertainment and more about who controls the megaphone for which messages get disseminated. Okay, so you have that happening. I want to read you something that they said. Let's see, can I find it? Okay, so Tang said this when this was announced. Netflix is a great company and they've done a phenomenal job. They have a very big market share. And when they have Warner Brothers talking about Netflix, you know, the shares go up a lot. So I don't know. That's going to be for some economists to tell. And also, I'll be involved in that decision too. Okay, so let's keep going.
Ding, 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 alarm, alarm, alarm.
Let's keep going. So here's what he said to Elle. Now, you would think analysts have said it makes sense, even though what you put up, Dr. Vibe, is exactly the case. There are some analysts that are saying, though, you know, it looks like Paramount would have a good chance. But hold on, let me, not so fast, Paramount. This is what they said. So, or he said, Tang said this, my real problem, let me preface this with, he lashed out. Remember when Margarine was on the show, Margarine Taylor Greene was on the show? He lashed out and on 60 Minutes. So he said this, my real problem with the show, however, wasn't the low IQ traitor. It was that the new ownership of 60 Minutes, Paramount, would allow a show like this to air. And he wrote this Monday on Truth Social, after the Ellisons announced their hostile bid for Warner. So he did this after they announced the bid. He said in capital letters on Truth Social, they are no better than the old ownership who just paid me millions of dollars for fake reporting about your favorite president, me. Since they bought it, 60 Minutes has actually gotten worse. Now, this is not just a marker of a deranged lunatic, even though, yes, it is. It's not just the marker of that. This shows that it really doesn't matter who it is. Even the Ellisons, who you would think are a shoo-in for this, the moment you say something that is upsetting to the administration, and really more so one person in the administration and everybody else is scrambling for Africa to try and make sure he's satisfied, that's when the problem begins. So it doesn't matter if you were on his side 10 minutes ago. This 10 minutes passed, you're not on his side anymore. So in a normal state of affairs, the video and everything that was said would be the case. But this is not a normal state of affairs and normal administration. So it's going to be more of a who is willing to please whom rather than what looks right with regulation, etc. Because regulation and law has gone out the window. So that's why when we try to analyze this in a normal way, the normal rules do not apply.
Whew.
All right.
But nothing normal. There's nothing normal about any of this, period. No. Absolutely nothing normal. Everything from the time that you wake up in the morning, he wants your first breath. He wants your first attention to the time that you go to bed at night. He wants to be in your pocket. He wants to be on your screen. And when I say he wants to be in your pocket, I literally mean he's putting his own self on the new dollar coin that is coming out next year. And removing women and removing African Americans who are already on the coin. He wants every part of you. So if you think that this does not have anything to do at all about politics, I beg to differ. And baby, I got a bridge to say.
May I also add something else in? Yesterday on the Morning Vibe, I was talking about how we also need to watch what YouTube is going to do in all of this as well, because of the fact, even though it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with them, it has everything to do with them and any large independent, quote unquote, not network, not cable broadcaster. And this is why. So who's watching television? That's nice. You all are about to do all this and buy all this. Nobody's checking for you. And I'm not trying to be rude, but the most watched content on television sets is YouTube. It's certainly not Paramount. It is certainly not CBS. It's not any of that. So we're talking about having an audience that doesn't really so much care about the products you have. So you may think it's a big deal and you may try to hype it up, but see, even this seems like they're talking with an old paradigm. The fact of in the playbooks talking about control media, they're thinking old media. They're thinking legacy media. Okay, go on and control that because nobody's really paying attention to that anyway.
That's right.
They're on to the next. They're on to the TikToks. They're on to the YouTube, which is why I'm saying we have to watch what YouTube is going to do, because the thing is they've already got their claws in TikTok. They weren't thinking about it as this is where everybody is. They were thinking about it as we were able to win by doing this, getting on TikTok. So they're not even thinking that far ahead. They're not that bright.
Right.
They're not thinking that far ahead, but they probably will start to do so. And so I want to see what YouTube is going to do.
But so in all this as well, aren't we still supposed to be trying to see what's going on with TikTok? What happened to that sale? Because it's like there's been nothing else said about it.
Here's the thing. You're right. Nothing else has really been said about it. The last time I checked, there was not significant movement because at the end of the day, here's the thing. This is still a Chinese company. Regardless of if you wanted, you want to ban, you already saw when it was shut down. You know how many people jumped on these Chinese apps so that they could still have access to I think they think
frightening.
It is. And I'm not saying that's any better, but I think that the US and the government overestimates their importance in the world. You're not as important as you think. Just like the guy when they said, the whole tariff war that was happening with China and the BBC interviewed, I can't remember who it was. And he said, but they could enact more sanctions. And he says, we don't care. China has been around for 5,000 years and we expect to be around for 5,000 more.
That was a gangster right there. He was like,
we really don't. Gangster.
And he said that with his whole chest.
He said, we don't care. Just like that.
We've talked so far about the potential impact politically, but what from media and a content lens, like Dr. Tachi, who do you feel would be better handling of this? And remember too, Netflix just wants to buy the streaming part. They don't want anything to do with the CNN part of it.
Right. They want the streaming part and they want the streaming and the studio. That's what they want. Whereas, and so that's what they offered 83 billion for. The 100 billion was offered by Paramount, and that's for the entire thing, for everything. And so that seems like a sweet deal, because what happens is if Netflix gets it and they're only interested in the studios and the streaming part of it, that means all the cable channels that they have and anything else will be spun off someplace else. It's more work for them, right? So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I didn't have anything.
Okay, let me approach it from this end. Dr. Tachi and LaLa, what concerns do you have if Paramount wins it in the end?
The elephants.
Concerns all the way around, period. I don't care either or. I still have concerns, period. I need to know, when other people control the narrative, what you are, we already see that I want to say this a nice way, but it's not a nice thing to say, but it's the truth. People do not want to do research. They want to consume and just accept what's being told to them. My concern is that I don't care who it is. I don't care who either one of these two are going to get it. I think it's wrong in the first place for either one of them to get it. I think a third party who is not involved and is not going to make this some monopoly thing should be getting this. But we're seeing this in every aspect of government. Like we have Blackstone buying up properties. So like things like this, I can't tell you who I want to see, because to me, neither one of them are underdog.
I agree. It's troubling either way, because what's starting to happen is all these things that are antitrust, anti-monopoly were put in place to protect free enterprise, but also to, on a lesser scale, protect consumers, right? So this cuts down on consumer choice significantly when you have one company that owns many properties across the board, where you have no choice to patronize that company because they own this, and this, and that's a problem. This is not legal, right? So right. The fact that you even have to, that's even a question in your mind, especially for Netflix, that shows you something is not 100% with this. I would, first of all, who even knew that WBD was for sale? Was it even for sale, or was it kind of pressured into sale?
I've been hearing rumors for a while that they were looking to be sold. So it's not totally news to me, new news that they want to be sold. It's just the people coming apart. And then another thing we can throw in this, what about Comcast?
What about Comcast? That's NBC Universal.
Yeah. Right. So would it make a difference?
If it went to them? No, that's worse. Yeah. That's bad too, because now you've got two legacy entities together, which is a big, that's a big deal. I don't think it would be great for Comcast either. I think that too cuts down on consumer choice. Any of these that if it has to go to someone, it's concerning all the way around, but I would say Netflix, the problem is because of who they are, is going to be a problem trust-wise. But it's a problem all the way around, because when you have people that, as LaLa said, when you have people that are billionaires that have a lot of money, they tend to do things to make sure they keep that money. They may tend to do things to make sure they keep that market share. And it's not always ethical. So is business always ethical in this country? No, it's not. So my concerns are the squashed consumer choice with this. And that's the same thing if Comcast got it.
LaLa, you want to add?
Everything that we're doing in this country is alarming to me. It's really, really important that we understand what's going on and learn to exercise our power of the mind. And I say that in all seriousness, because you cannot just take anything and make it a narrative that you believe. You better start learning how to go back to your own, find that Encyclopedia Britannica somewhere and go back to find the truth. And there are real news outlets out here. There are private journalists who are sharing the truth. But I can't even begin to tell you the last time I've looked at any of these news channels, because I don't believe them and I have no faith in them. I will go to independent people in a heartbeat. Matter of fact, when I sit down with my coffee in the morning, I go to my independent sources, and I haven't even touched CNN, MSNBC, and Lord knows I ain't never looked at Fox. None of those things. I just don't do it, and even more so now, as much as I used to enjoy BBC, I don't trust them as much anymore either.
What is the impact to the, I guess, two groups? Content creators, which could be people like us, people who are filmmakers, etc., documentary, and then what's the impact on the potential on the consumer?
Well, I think we just said that, because when you're getting fed garbage, you consume garbage. You've lost the narrative of what truth really is for the average American. And it's no better than, I don't know if you guys have, and I know you have because we've laughed about it before, is, how these independent journalists will go out and they'll go to these rallies and they'll say to a Trumpster, well, I want to take your opinion on what Biden said about this, and let me quote it to you. And they're like, oh, he's just disgusting for saying that, and he just doesn't. He's harping and say, oh, I'm sorry. Biden didn't say that. It was Trump. Well, you see, he really had good intentions. It's the same narrative. You're never going to change those people. But there are people who believe everything that is on TV. There are still people who believe that TV is real and everything that you feed them is real, because they will not go and look for the truth elsewhere.
I agree. I think that, so if we look at I think we've already talked about how this affects consumers, less choice. But in terms of how it affects content creators, yes. I think this provides an ample opportunity to do something different. We've already seen the promise in independent, in doing your own. As long as you do the work and you do it right, you can draw audiences. All we had to do is look at when Jimmy Kimmel was suspended from ABC, and they put Jimmy Kimmel on YouTube. Nobody was looking for ABC, and then nobody cared. They care. This is what people have to realize. And as you know, from Blab days, my good friend Joe Wilson, he always says this: it's not about the platform, it's about the people. If you are providing a service, you are providing good content, it doesn't matter where you are. And see, this is what we have to start to realize. We keep thinking that the power is up being on TV. The power is being on a major network. Oh, we're going to get to the networks. And so people who are into TikTok, and people who are into YouTube, which constitute a huge segment of content consumers, they don't care about that. They don't even have, listen, the only reason I'm able to get local channels is because I have an antenna, because I'm not paying for a cable system that will also get me local channels. Right? They're still on, as I said, using an old paradigm. But if you come in, you create content that is good, solid content, and you get your audience, that's the new paradigm. You don't need that go-between. So I think that this provides a great opportunity for content creators to get their things out there. This is what we have to lose, though. This is what we need to stop thinking about. When we do this, people are not just thinking about being famous and getting their things out there. People who are looking to get their things on major platforms are always also looking for major money. I'm not saying that our stuff is not worth that, not at all. But just like the housing market, and you know this, LaLa, just like the housing market, I think the entertainment industry has been overinflated, and not on the end of people who are creating like we are, like LaLa is. It's on these companies, the heads of the companies that are making trillions. It's on the fact that they're publicly traded, so shareholders are expecting so much in return. So they have to make, for them, if they're, we only brought in X amount of million, which that's good, but to them it's not good because they have to divide it up so many ways. So we have to start to get used to making normal human being money on these things. That's what we have to get used to. And that's why people keep clawing and selling their firstborn to get on major old school platforms, because they're only thinking about the money and they're not thinking about creating a different way. You can still make that money. It may not come from that platform. How else are you going to do it? Brand deals, brand partnerships, maybe looking at merchandise, doing things and creative financing. That's what we have to start to do. The old paradigm is gone, folks. I know I talked a lot, but I just had to get that out.
No, it's very true. But then let's also look at the flip side of why this is important in a different way. Because if the platform for a voice was not that important, this wouldn't be a big deal. If there wasn't concern about these content creators that are really out here spreading the real news, and even making, the government is now making AI content against them. You see, they're going after the small people too. So not only this, they're concerned about those content creators who are out here telling the truth. So this is why it's so much more important for them to control the narrative on a bigger picture. But what they're failing to see is exactly what we're talking about. Nobody looking for that. Because listen, I done moved states several times. My clients move with me. Why? Because LaLa gives good service. It doesn't matter what company I'm with, as long as I'm still giving the good service.
Dr. Tachi, I want to add on to this and get your lens on this. One of the people I've began to pay a lot of attention because there's good insights is a lady named Kara Switzer and also Scott Galloway. And they come to, especially Scott Galloway, saying, both of them say, the entertainment industry has been mismanaging itself for years and years and years, and they only have themselves to blame in regards to this situation. Both of you are nodding your heads, so who wants to add on to that or give their takes on that?
Go ahead, LaLa, start.
Well, for one, look at what's happening just in the music industry. Okay, the fact that Spotify is paying its CEO millions upon millions, while the artists are not even getting pennies. You can get spun 500,000 times on a song and only earn a quarter of a penny. It's never been set up to take care of the artist. The American, it even a long time ago, it wasn't just because of Spotify, baby. I mean, radio stations got payola, right? The artist is always the last ones. So it's built on shaky ground. Anything that is built on shaky ground cannot stand. And we are seeing more and more of this because, of course, now we have more places to look and see where the truth is. It's no longer just magazine articles and newspaper articles. You're seeing the truth of this when Snoop Dogg and all these big people are coming out saying, I didn't get paid on that record. And people are like, what? What do you mean? So the entertainment industry has never been set up in the right place. And it is their fault for not protecting their artists and those who help to run those artists. It's their fault. They had the power to do it. They just didn't do it. And the Grammys as well, they're bought out, baby. So y'all can look at all these shows and, ooh, I got a Grammy. Ooh la la. Let me tell you why. Who else has a Grammy? Blue Ivy. Why? Because Beyonce and them are smart. They know to let Blue Ivy say, hi, mommy, and then give her a little credit. Now she on the album, she get paid. So listen.
Can you sing that again? I'll have to buy that.
She was practicing surfboard and she was like, and I was like, okay, now it's the writing credit. Because she's on it. The writing credits right now, y'all, are ridiculous. Because everybody's trying to get their quarter of a penny, because otherwise you're not going to get any at all. The entertainment industry has never been set up right. And they really should be taking care of the artists. But now, look at what we are allowing. We are allowing these AI companies to get in, steal from the artists their voice, their likeliness, their style, their everything. And now they are spinning AI artists where nobody's getting paid except the CEO. No, they have done this to us, period. And it is 90% of their fault that the entertainment industry is getting what it's getting.
I would even say 95%.
Agreed.
And the other 5% is the consumer who still continues to patronize despite what happens. I think there's so much blame to go around, but I think the majority of it, does go to the entertainment industry. And yesterday, this also speaks to all ends of the entertainment industry. I think we just talk about the music industry generally. We talk about the television and movie industries, and we think, that's it. But let's also look at other exhibition industries. Live Nation makes so much off of these artists. That's another cartel, Live Nation. Okay, when we looked at, I talked about the fact that the artists, you need to be hungry, but not hungry enough to sell your soul, because the thing is, people want that exposure and they know that, and so they constantly get you with, there's a lot of exposure. For example, the Super Bowl. Now again, when they ask people to perform for the Super Bowl, those are well-known people, but you don't get paid for that, just like you don't get paid for performing at Coachella. You pay to go ahead and put together your dancers, to put together whatever pyrotechnics. All of that is coming out of your pot, which is why you see who you see at these certain places, because these are the ones who can afford to do that. But, the thing is, the narrative is, well, it's a good opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to get your stuff out in front of folks. No, witch, pay people.
Exactly. You better have your merch together, because I'm going to tell you, that's the only thing you're getting paid for. When we went to Lenny, oh my God, that was such a fabulous, I just had a beautiful flashback of how great that concert was.
Wow.
But you know how the merch tables used to be, right? You used to be able to go and get vinyl, videotape, whatever they was doing. Lenny had t-shirts and maybe wallets and maybe something else. There wasn't any music being sold back there. There wasn't anything, because why? You get paid on the merch, baby, not necessarily the product of the music anymore. Lenny Kravitz, did you hear what I said? Did not have albums to be sold at his concert.
Wow. Who do you think is going to come out winning this?
Paramount.
If they play the game right.
You think so?
See, because this is the thing. Tang is mad about the CBS 60 Minutes interview.
Yeah.
And he has a very long memory, and he'll remember, even though that is not, a reasonable person will know, okay, well, that's not directly them, the new owners, or any. No, each show is an independent contractor, basically. So that's not directly their fault, but it doesn't matter to him. So if things are not well with him, again, he doesn't use rationality in making decisions. So rationally, because they're offering $108 billion, and that's for the entire thing, that seems like it's a deal to go after, right? If we look at it rationally.
Well, rationally, that's for me and you, Dr. Tachi. That's for me and you. That ain't for orange shit.
Not for them. Exactly. But we also don't know that Netflix will not come back and counterbid.
Mm-hmm.
But Netflix actually said that they were prepared for this. So
they did. Netflix said, we knew this was going to happen and we're not worried. They actually, what's his name? Sarandos, who's the co-CEO, said the deal is done, basically. So he said, we're not worried.
Wow.
What's that song? You got to know when to hold them.
Kenny.
Here you are. Just starting at an octave several high.
So here's another thing. Would the best thing be it doesn't get sold at all? Ideally, the ideal situation, if Warner Brothers didn't have to, would it be the best situation if it didn't get sold at all?
Well, and then what do you have? Let's look at the health of Warner Brothers Discovery right now. What do you actually have if it did not get sold? As you mentioned, yeah, they have been looking for a while. And if you think about it, everything is for sale, really, in the media industry for the right price. So they have been looking for a while. But what do you have health-wise? They've got the thing that's attractive is streaming, the library, the studios. Those are the things that are attractive, but it only works and makes sense if the industry is going in a direction where that is important. Streaming is not their biggest thing. So for Netflix to absorb that and add to what they have, that's what, because on its own, it's not the strongest thing. Netflix is number one in terms of streaming. So this just adds to what they have. All right. They have a library of different things, cartoons, shows, etc. They have that. Okay, that's fine. That's something that could be on a streaming network. The studios, that's fine. That's where you could produce things. But if people are not checking for that kind of content anymore, what good does it do? So on its own, this is the big thing. On its own, I don't know how well it will do. It will just continue to plug along as is, because I don't see anything earth-shattering or groundbreaking coming out of any of these places. Let's be clear. Netflix is probably the only one that has a chance of making a dent in something groundbreaking. The rest of them, no, their time is done, because they've also shown they're not trying to up the game at all. So their time is done.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm actually tired to death of all these streaming companies. I'm just sick to death of them. I mean, it's too many of them. And when you want to watch what you want to watch, you still can't watch it. It's like, I'm done. No wonder people always go get these sticks and break them. because you're tired.
Which you're cracking down on. I'm like, but it's been happening for like donkey years, 10 years almost at this point, and now you're just trying to crack down on it. But
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing too. This is why places with less strings attached do so well. I'm already paying for like, okay, so I have Netflix. I've had Netflix since like 2001. So I've had it for a very long time, since before they started streaming. So
Yeah.
I just keep it because I've always had it. But as far as other new things, no, I'm not doing that. People are like, oh, it's on Hulu. Well, I won't be watching it. Oh, it's on. Well, I won't be watching it. Right. So I think there are more people that are like me in thought than are not like me. And part of the thing is look at where our economy is. People are looking to cut back and cut down on things. And if this means I can get something for free by watching a YouTube or whatever, guess what happens? I start to switch my tastes. My tastes start to switch. I loved The Mandalorian. I had a free trial of Disney Plus. The moment it ended, I stopped watching The Mandalorian. I weaned myself off of it because I wasn't going to pay for it. And although there are some people who they will pay for it, that's what Disney Plus banks on. There are other people like, well, that's it. Or I'll just wait until they load everything and I'll pay for 1 month, watch it all, and then dump it.
Right. Exactly.
You can't build a business model off of churn like that.
No.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all of this. I think it was a really gutsy move for Netflix to only offer for money first, where they felt it was profitable to offer money. But what has also happened though is it seems that one of the major shareholders in Warner Brothers has said, you know what, let's go with the Paramount offer. And at the end of the day, 47's I just feel that 47's gonna give it to the Ellisons. It just par for his course. Whoever bows to him the most will get.
But are we going to be surprised? No.
No, I'm not going to be surprised, and it makes sense. But again, he is not a sensible individual. So all it takes is for one other false move to happen, and that's it. So we're just going to have to watch and see. This is not going to just be decided in the next month or whatever. We're just going to have to watch and see what happens. So in that, watch and see what happens on different networks that are under Paramount's control in terms of things like 60 Minutes, etc. Watch and see if they start to pull some things back because of this. Then I could say maybe, but right now it's anybody's game.
And then one of LaLa's favorites is involved in the money aspect for Paramount. Who's involved with Paramount? One of the backers.
Oh, it's Kushner.
Oh, Kushner, yeah.
And Saudi money.
You see Saudi getting everything they want. Have y'all noticed ain't nobody talking about how they was going to be building a base here and all of a sudden that got quiet? No, it's still happening. It's just not in the news. But that is why this whole topic is important. Who is putting what they want you to hear in these big spaces? Them.
Controlling the narrative. So that even means what we don't hear.
That's right.
That's the stuff. It's not so much what we do hear. It's more important what we're not hearing.
Exactly.
Well, this will continue to go on. I have a feeling it's going to go on for a while because whoever wins, I'm sure there's going to be lawsuits back and forth and all that. But I still have a feeling if I had to put my money on it, I think Paramount's going to get it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, but don't be so willing to bet yet. There's a lot that has to happen before anybody gets this. Again, if we were in normal times, I might say yes, but we're not in normal times.
Okay, so we have finished off on that one. So let's do this. We'll go to our next story. So,
breaking news. U.S. authorities have seized a sanctioned oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. This week, U.S. forces boarded the VLCC Skipper, formerly known as Aisha, in international waters. The vessel was carrying about 1.8 million barrels of crude and had been under U.S. sanctions since 2022 for alleged links to Iran's IRGC and Hezbollah. This move highlights a major escalation in U.S. enforcement of sanctions, targeting tankers accused of evading detection and trafficking illicit oil. Venezuelan officials have condemned the seizure, while U.S. authorities maintain it's a lawful action under federal warrant. The tanker is now headed to Houston for offloading and legal proceedings. More actions against sanctioned vessels could follow as the U.S. intensifies its crackdown.
I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm surprised I'm not laying down 24/7, 92, 37, 95 minutes a day, because this is alarming, because this sets a really dangerous precedent. The U.S. didn't just enforce sanctions on paper. It physically seized a foreign oil tanker on international waters. Now, this matters because it moves America from an economic pressure to something much closer to like maritime enforcement by force. Y'all, I know these sound like big words, but when you say international waters, you need to understand that this is now something that is involving the world. It's not just the United States of America. Now, from Orange, this is about laws and sanctions. No, it ain't. It's about power. But from everybody else in the whole world, it looks like America has decided it can take what it wants to, whenever it wants to. And that's the problem, because sanctions are not supposed to be enforced through international agreements, not helicopters, they're supposed to be enforced by international, not just one country. So when one country acts alone, it weakens the whole idea of international law, which kind of ties back into what he's doing with this whole thing of shunning the EU and moving toward the Russia backment. Okay, so you need to see this as a bigger picture. So not only that, by him doing this, if the US can do this, so can other powerful countries with the same type of logic. And then you have to remember that there's a humanitarian side to this as well, like that nobody really talks about that. When oil shipments stop, governments don't feel, they're not the ones who feel it first. It's actually people who feel it first. Regular people feel this. So fuel shortages actually lead to higher food prices, power outages, medical supply disruptions. So Venezuela's government may be corrupt, according to some people. We can debate that later. But cutting off oil doesn't magically just hurt the politicians who are involved and the big country politician parts. It's more about the little people. We see that in absolutely everything that we're doing. And another thing is, this is escalation. Venezuela has called this piracy, and Cuba backed them up. Iran is watching closely. And if countries start escorting their tankers with military protection, which could be next, you are now going to have like armed standoffs at sea. And this is a serious problem. We also still buy oil from other countries, right? So this makes this whole thing look like this is just a nightmare, because it is. It's not just America trying to be cute. Trump thinks he could do anything. This is now international situations, and this is the bigger power. The bigger issue is the power, like we always see. It's always, I'm the big man. I do whatever I want to, and screw anybody else who comes along. And now this is an international issue, which he, of course, is trying to get us away from, because he doesn't know any part of the EU or anything that has to do with world leadership.
That's what you should have thought of before you tried to do something in international waters.
But he
You've
doesn't.
now involved everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were trying to reenact Pirates of the Caribbean or what. But now they, since they're so buddy with Paramount, maybe they can make a new production company called Kettle Black Productions, because them acting like this sure is the pot calling the kettle black. They have nothing. They should have nothing to say about humanitarianism, about anything that anybody else is doing when you yourself are enacting the worst possible scenarios on your own soil. In fact, that's part of the point. You have problems on your own soil. Why are you out there? You say smuggling of drugs. Let's use a little bit of common sense now. These small speedboats, right? You think they're going to okay, if you say so. This whole thing is nonsense. It's absolute rubbish. We know all of this is the fact that Venezuela has the world's largest oil reserves. That's what this is all about. And you make up any reason. So you can't even you're a fake bully. You even say, yeah, well, we want your oil reserve. You're making up lies and things to say why you're going out there. You can't even stand you can't even stand up and bully properly. You're lying to get the people to be on your side so you could do that. It's absolutely despicable and disgusting. So and here's the thing, and you've said this before, LaLa, they are making it terrible. You say you care about America. You say you care about America first. You're doing things that are in the name of America first, but you don't. You don't give a about any American, because you've made it so difficult for Americans to move in the world. You think all Americans live here in Washington nowhere land? No. There are lots of people that work for the government, in fact, that live overseas that are doing the work of the U.S. There are lots of people that are expats. There are lots of people that are Americans that live everywhere. And you have now single-handedly made it more difficult for them to navigate the world. Congratulations.
I have two conversation points for both of you. First of all, does America have an oil shortage?
No.
So why are you taking oil from another country and using it for yourself when you have enough oil for yourself?
It's kind of like, when you have a new toy, and you see another child that also has that toy and you want theirs too, but you already have a toy, but it doesn't matter because you also want theirs, because you don't want to wear out the feet on your new toy by playing with it. So you want that other toy, because then when you use up theirs, you'll look for someplace else. And then when you use up everything, then maybe you'll go to yours. So it's like kids.
Okay.
I couldn't agree more. I can't add any more to that. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, second conversation piece. Is America at war with Venezuela?
We at war with them in his mind, in his imaginary world, he is. But remember what this means, Dr. Vibe. This is bigger than just taking somebody's oil ships. Hey, if we go to war, we are not going to have an election. This is nothing but the bigger picture of what he's already said. What cracks me up is people tend to forget that, as crazy as he comes out and says stuff, he comes out and it sounds crazy and everybody's like, what did he say? Baby, he means that, because it's in the news of what's happening the very next day. My man came out and asked the question publicly. If we are at war, do we have to have an election? What you think he's gearing up for? This is bigger than Venezuela. This is all about power, greed, and never leaving the White House and becoming the dictator that he so wants so bad. He wants to be bigger than Hitler, and therefore he's working really fast to get there. This hasn't even been a year, Dr. Vibe.
I know. Dr. Tachi, anything you wanting to add?
I 100% agree. And here's the thing, what else? Let's just think about this. Let's say he acted like a normal human being and knows that there's no way he could ever win again. And let me just leave quietly. What else could he do? I mean, he's got a whole bunch of stolen money. He doesn't have to do it. But what else could he really do? And remember, he's the type of person that needs the public eye and that needs attention on him in order to feel like someone. He could never just be a quiet rich person. He has to have that attention. His personality type thrives on that attention. So what else could he really do if he left office? Nothing. So what's happening is this attempt, of course, to hold on to power, but also an attempt to hold on to relevance. I don't think it would stomach well with him if he ever lost relevance. Sometimes that's why I think, despite the fact that he's not bright, that some of these things he says are to keep his name in people's mouths.
Oh my God, can you imagine if we didn't speak about him for one day? I'm not even saying that as in jest. I'm really saying that if we went one day without mentioning Trump, do you know that man will melt down quicker than the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz?
Exactly. Exactly.
It always brings me back, and I say periodically, David Frum, who's a writer at The Atlantic.
Yeah.
I remember a long time back, he said, 47 only cares about two things, himself and money. That's it. And if you watch his moves and you think about follow the money and it's about himself, a lot of things get answered. A lot of things. Before we move on to
You gotta look too hard. You don't have to look hard. The answer is right there.
Let me ask, do you see next year, since we're coming to the end of 2025, there'll be some sort of increased aggression, maybe troops,
Of course,
when it comes to Venezuela?
Yes, that's the plan.
Wow.
That's the plan. I can read the outline and be blind and we have a nightshade on my head. I know the plan. This is following the plan.
This is, yeah, I agree. But I think people have to remember that those in the service, that I was only following orders is not an excuse.
And we're seeing that.
You're going to pay for it.
We're seeing that. That general, baby, they're going to throw him under the bus. That whole man's career is ruined because of dirty power.
Which general are you talking about?
Oh, the one who bombed the boats.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Yep.
But you told me that it basically is like, but you said to, you don't have common sense? Because
And
they'll
that's
try
not
to
what
save
you're instructed
themselves,
to
not
do.
you.
The military is not instructed to do that. They are never to follow an unlawful order. Never. They protect the Constitution of America. They do not and are not supposed to follow any unlawful order. This was clearly unlawful.
Wow. Wow. Well, again, one of the people I'd love to interview is this general that resigned about 2 months ago.
Mhm.
Baby, I'm so glad he did.
That's a gentleman. He stay under the, but wouldn't it be something if 60 Minutes interviewed him? Ouch.
Wow.
Ouch. Ouch.
I think he's probably trying to stay under the radar and
Oh,
just
yeah.
be at this point, you know.
I don't want him to, because I would not want him in any more danger than what he
No.
already in as a black man with power. I don't want to hear from him. Enjoy your life, sir. Thank you for your service.
All right. Let's get ready for our next conversation piece as I
Okay.
take the ladies off the screen for just a momento, and we're gonna.
Ever wondered what happens when a bold progressive from Dallas takes on a Texas Senate seat held by a Republican for decades? On December 8th, 2025, Rep. Jasmine Crockett filed to run for U.S. Senate, directly challenging Sen. John Cornyn and even telling Donald Trump, "I'm coming for you." She enters a Democratic primary on March 3rd, 2026 against State Rep. James Tallarico, after Colin Allred dropped out to avoid a bruising contest. This race matters because Democrats need 4 seats to flip the Senate, and Texas hasn't elected a Democrat statewide since 1994.
One of the people that makes LaLa smile is Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, she makes them red crackers run, don't she? Yes, I said. If y'all bold enough to call, I said I better call you. Abbott said if she wins, he's leaving. Did you hear that? He literally said he's leaving. Listen, this is bigger. This is bigger than Texas, y'all. This is really a big move, and it is bigger than Texas. Why? Because Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, oh, she just makes me smile. With her running for the U.S. Senate, it's not just about the campaign. It really is a signal for the Democratic Party that is under pressure to change its face, its tone, its strategy, and especially in these red and purple states, right? So Texas has been treated like a lost cause in America because, for years, it's always been red, especially in the Senate. Kentucky too, to be very honest. Now, Democrats always try to raise money there. They make noise, then they quietly lose. But Crockett's run is actually going to challenge this whole pattern because she's not just running as a safe Democrat, not the safe one. She's running on a loud, unapologetic, and very public about where she stands platform. Crockett represents a new generation. She makes me happy. She is a new generation of Democrat who does not believe in playing nice because, baby, she will go toe to toe with you in a heartbeat. And she's smart and she's quick-witted and she is not putting up with any of the people are taking up in Washington. She's blunt, she's confrontational, and she's willing to actually call out people to their faces. She will go to their office. Hey, I got to tell you something. And she means every bit of it. Now, people see that in Marjorie Greene Taylor, right? We see her all the time out there doing it, but she don't let that woman intimidate her. And you see where that's gotten her, right? You see where that's gotten Marjorie? Yeah. At the back of the room again. So her style is fresh. It's new. It feels like she is the voice that we want to hear. And it actually does put a lot of tension into what this election looks like. But here's also a reality check that I want us to really think about. Are we going to play these games with Jasmine as we played with Kamala? Because Michelle Obama said something very important recently when everybody kept saying, Obama's wife need to run, Michelle need to run, she need to run for president. She said, I see what you do to Black women, and you'll never fool me into running for any kind of race. I see how you treat us. Are we going to do that with Jasmine Crockett? Or are we going to stand behind her unified to help her win this race? She is the voice that we need. She's powerful, smart, educated, and baby, she can wink back at you in a heartbeat. She is someone that we really can look to help us put us back on track from the leaders we had before. We don't really have so many of those anymore, but I see her as a powerful part of being that. I'm proud that she's stepping up to this. I back her 1000%. And baby, I'm ready to donate. I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
Okay. Dr. Tachi.
100%. I am, first of all, I'm proud to say that she is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And so she's got not just all of Delta behind her, I'm sure, but also all the D9. Okay, all D9 organizations. We don't play with our own. But here's it, to your point, are we going to rally behind her? I think we've learned that we cannot rely on those other people. You stay at the base of the mountain. We know that we have to use our own power of the people on the side of right, on the people on the side of change. We're the ones that are going to have to propel her. We don't have time to sit there and convince people. Like all the people that shut up, we don't have time for you. That's fine. Suffer. Suffer on your own. And that's what we just have to, that's the way we have to be. We cannot afford to wait or convince or any of that. So I'm very excited that she's running for Senate. I have every confidence that she will get there because people are tired of because this is already starting to happen. I'm sure you saw that for the first time in 30 years, Miami has a Democratic woman mayor.
Yes.
Time in 30 years. Now we already know that because Miami is run by, they're run by terrible people who think that if they align themselves with deplorable ways of thinking, that they'll somehow have proximity to whiteness, which never happens. I don't care what you do. Never has it happened in the history of this world that you are rewarded for your traitorism. Never happens. Traitorism is not a word, but I'm making it one. So we're already starting to see that this blue wave is starting. But we need the blue wave with people who are not just going to, let's work with each other. I don't want to work with you because you've proven to me that you don't know how to work with people fairly and you don't want the same things I want. So I'm not reaching across the aisle to you. Those are the types of people we need.
I think she sees that and she's smart enough to know that. And that's what I see in her. That fire is there. And she really does care about our country. She's not one of these, who comes out and looking to see who's going to put money in her pocket. You have to look at her record. Look at her record of who she gets paid from. Woo, nobody. So who is she really paying? She is really working for America. And she's a face that we need. And all this stuff, we talked about President Obama being our hope. And yes, there is always hope. But I actually do feel like I have hope with her. I seek out what she has to say. But I have to be you have to also understand they've already started coming after her. Now, first of all, I absolutely love that girlfriend announced it with Trump's own words.
Yes.
Calling her out, calling her uneducated, the lowest of the low, and blah, blah, blah. Girlfriend stood on those words and owned them and made it her platform. And it was very, very powerful. But they've already started in. They've already started in on, you support Israel, you do that, and you do this. And they don't even know the record at all. People just come out and say stuff. Once again, those who report and who has the power of those who report are the ones that can control the narrative. If you don't go back and do your own research, you should always do your research on every candidate that is running. I don't care if it's just a school librarian. Know who's running that because that is important. So the fact is they're going to come at her, not with both barrels, baby. They're going to get about 8 of them to come after her. And we need to surround her in love and uplift her for this race because it is that important.
Oh, she's covered. She's covered not only by all of us who want to see change, but she's also, this is what people don't understand. When you have someone that's God-fearing, she is covered. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing that you devils can do because she's covered.
Simple as that. So run, girl, run, because we got you.
It's interesting going back. You were talking about Michelle Obama. I think it may have been the same clip that I saw or interview that I saw that like people saying, are you going to run? Are you going to run? She says, no. You ain't ready for me.
No.
He says, you're not ready for me. And you know what? Sorry, but I see what's going on. I see the way things are. No, I'm not putting my foot in that fire.
She is so right about that. And she has every right to protect her peace. I really hate that people want to control other people and want their wishes and demands for someone to run a country when they clearly don't want to. She already said that a long time ago. She wasn't really all the way in. She was like, listen, we had to really pray about Barack Obama running. I love the fact that she is honest about that. This is not some regular 9-to-5 job, y'all. You see what these presidents look like when they go in, and then what they look like after. This is a lot of pressure.
Look at all the gray hair her husband inherited.
Not just the presidents, but their whole families.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole families. They have to be very strong people to deal, especially with what the Obamas had to deal with, because they got it 10 times over.
Nobody else has had to deal with what they had to deal with in office. And they still look 20 million times younger than everybody else. That's another thing, you know, on another level. It's that there is dismay that regardless of what you throw at people of African descent, they still manage to come out on top and overcome and succeed, right? And that angers people who want to see you fail. That angers them. And to your point of people wanting folks to run for their own thing, it goes back to the fact that, well, who do they always point to serve and to help run? It's us. They're always looking for us to. For once, I'm like, I need you to actually do something. Do something. Right? It cannot be us all the time doing it, because generally what happens is it's the downtrodden that are fighting for their own rights and nobody else is helping. And what ends up happening is you inadvertently benefit because things get changed then, because people are making noise about it and people make change and you always benefit. So when is it your time to actually do something and not wait for the downtrodden to always do something? This is why they're so, because I'm super happy that Jasmine is running, but you know, they're doubly happy that Jasmine is running because it's somebody who's actually going to do something and say something to power, things that they would never do.
Yeah.
Well said. All right, we've got one last story, and I think it's a good segue this into our next conversation piece. So just hold on a moment.
They're paying you not for your numbers, but because you're willing to say the nasty things about Black people that they want to say. Joy Reid said this on Naked with Kari Champion, responding to Stephen A. Smith's claim that she was fired for ratings. She pointed out that Smith reportedly earns a $100 million contract despite having roughly half her ratings at her lowest. Reid accused him of being paid to denigrate Black women for white audiences' entertainment. Smith has not publicly responded to these remarks. This matters because it raises questions about media incentives and representation. What do you think?
Dr. Tachi, you wanted it on this one, and I think it's a good segue into from our last conversation. So go for it.
I think that Stephen A. Smith needs to worry about where his his hairline is going, and forget about what's happening with Joy Reid or anyone else. And how would we not feel that this is the case? You consistently have something to say about any Black woman who is either speaking truth to power, who is trying to make a change and do things better, because you are carrying the ball for the quote unquote establishment. So not only you just won't quietly carry the ball. You carry the ball, and then you're loud about why you're carrying the ball and why anybody who is against the ball carriers is wrong. You are loud and wrong at all times. And he does this consistently. And I've always had an issue with the way he speaks about things. And I'm like, oh, can you just be quiet? So I don't think he hasn't said anything, because I'm hoping he's in deep reflection. It really takes a lot when somebody calls you out and actually comes with numbers. Your ratings are worse than what I was at my lowest, and you're getting paid $100 million for it. So it's almost, it is to the chagrin of everyone else, because the fact is you are then not deserving of the $100 million. This is what this is saying, right? Inadvertently, that, okay, well, you're getting paid this for what? It's not like you have the ratings, but you opened your mouth to say that it was because of ratings. And how do you know? You're not even at the network. What intel do you have to know, even if that were the truth, that it was because of ratings, which it was not? A simple lookup will tell you that it wasn't about ratings. So I found this story very interesting because he continues to talk about things. But the thing is, he's always loud and loudest about Black women.
Yeah.
Why? We just want to be.
What they say, who hurt you, baby?
Exactly. Who was even talking to you? We just want to be. We're going about our business. we're having shows. We're having important conversations. We're doing well despite all of this. Why do you need to add insult to injury when you already know there's so many things that are against us? If nothing else, the decency as a man of color, as a man of African descent, should supersede anything. But because you are Sambo Jr., you're willing to tap dance for your little $100,000. Does it feel good? That's what I would ask. How do you feel now?
$100 million.
$100 million.
LaLa,
And
thought.
see, sorry, go ahead.
I don't like the man. I just don't. I mean, the problem that he has with his own people. Do you not have any respect for your mother? It all boils down to that, because you sit up here talking about other Black women, but do you forget that you have come from a Black woman? He's disgusting to me. I refuse to even look at him. Every time I see him on click, I won't watch him.
Is he part of a bigger media narrative? Is he almost like the front man for maybe, like he has an audience, whether rightly or wrongly? He has
Of course,
very
other Black men who, are angry. He caters to people who feel the same way that he does.
Absolutely.
No different than Trump.
He is no different than Trump. He caters to angry men, angry Black men and their allies who love this type of talk. Here's the thing: when you don't really have a lot of good, when you don't have high self-esteem, when you don't think highly enough of yourself, it makes you feel good that there's somebody supposedly less than or beneath you. And if they're not, you're going to tear them down to size. That's a you problem. You have issues and you probably need therapy. That has nothing to do with else. That's you. You have enough money. So take some of that 100 million and go to therapy.
I'm telling you, because baby, you need it. You got issues. BetterHelp is pretty affordable, since if you don't want to spend that much money, go ahead and go.
Exactly. You don't even have to spend your own money, because I'm sure you have health insurance from ESPN that will help with that. So you're good. It's just laziness at this point that you're not in therapy. If you are not in therapy, I hope you are. And if you are, you need to add this to the next topic of conversation the next time you meet with your therapist. Why you are so in Black women's business and so willing to denigrate them.
Of course, he's still an employee of ESPN.
Oh well,
no problem. I don't watch ESPN anyway.
Either.
I think they have the right person for the job. I'm going to say that. He does what they wish they could do. And they think, this is the thing, they thought that it's palatable. They have allowed this, right? And people think that because it's another Black person saying it, that it's okay and it's palatable. But what they didn't count on was that the 92% of everybody else have had it with all of you. All of you, we're done. We're tired. So you think we're actually, no. So even if before we let it roll off our backs, this time, no, you're not going to get away with it. So you may have your what's the name, but never forget where the power lies in these things. And I think the thing is that nothing has really been done up until now, because that's a male space. And there are women who watch ESPN, obviously, definitely. But it's not like, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's probably not like us boycotting ESPN is going to make a huge dent in their thing, because their primary audience is men. So this is why, to this point, there hasn't been like, oh, well, let's boycott, because it's really not going to make a big difference. However, there are other things that make a big difference, because one thing that we're good at is like, oh, who advertises there? No problem. We'll boycott there.
Exactly. And those numbers are showing up. They're downplaying all this, especially with the baby. Let me tell you something else. They lying to you about them Black Friday numbers, because we made a dent in that.
We did.
Okay.
It
So
wasn't really us
Stephen A.
out there shopping either. That
I
wasn't
didn't spend
us.
not one penny. Not one penny.
We did
Not
not
one
spend
penny.
money. They have to
Okay.
realize that the only reason this exists, the economy exists, is because you have people who are willing to put into the economy through spending. The moment you annoy us, we can stop spending. Not a problem.
All right. That is it for today's conversation. Thank you, ladies, for spending the most valuable thing, your time, with us.
Yay.
And yes, Dr. Tachi.
Yay.
And speaking of Dr. Tachi, how can people get in touch with Dr. Tachi?
Oh, so yeah, Instagram is a great way, at Dr._Tachi. You can send me a message and I will get back to you. These are the other places. I'm not on X anymore, but
I will
these
make
other
sure I
places.
remove that.
Yeah, the other
I
places.
remove, and you know what? I'm going to do that right now, and you see it in real time.
Oh,
I'm gonna
and you know
remove it.
what? For next week, I'll send you the link tree so that you could just replace all of that with link tree.
There you go. So it's replaced in real time. That's this
Yes.
one, and then this one. Thank you, Dr. Tachi, as per
Absolutely.
always.
Absolutely.
It's key time.
Yes, this old crazy lady named LaLa. Listen, you can find me at laurakey.net. You can find a lot of great resources there. One of my main purposes is to help you stay educated on what happens with home ownership, because we talk about power here a lot, and who has it and who doesn't. Well, a part of power is also owning your land. Okay, so I don't know where you need to get in, and I can help you get in on that, even if it's just a raw piece of land somewhere. That gives you power. So go to my website, find out all these wonderful free resources for that. And if you're interested in moving outside of the country because you're tired of that narrative, I am your girl there as well. So if you're thinking about moving overseas, I have free resources for you there. But I'm most excited right now about my Etsy store. Y'all, I have the cutest hip Santa Claus on my Etsy store. I worked hard on my hip Santa Claus. Go check him out at Etsy.com, and there's the link right there, Living the LaLa Life.
And that's moving out of the United States, correct?
Yes, sir. Get on up out of there if you want to.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. And I make it simple. As Dr. Tachi said, I've gone to just one simple link, taplink.cc/the.dr.VIBESHOW.com. So as we wrap it up, you can catch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also the Dr. Vibe Show website, the.dr.VIBESHOW.com. As always, I want to say thank everyone for watching live on the replay. It's appreciated and not taken for granted. And this is how we close out. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller, get stronger, block assumptions, and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider, love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history. Try to do both. And as always, make it better. God bless. Peace be well. Keep the faith. Walk good. Love y'all.
To understand how afraid I am of any member of the rodent family that's down to squirrels and chipmunks. Okay? I cannot stand all members of the rodent family. Rabbits, bunnies, no. What else is going on that day? I mean, is there something we're supposed to be doing?
Why are you going there? Why are you going there? You know I'm going to ask you. It falls the same day as the inauguration of the new president.
The what? Excuse me? I'm sorry.
You mean so in other words, Monday.
So onesies. Now, folks, don't ever think you're going to see us all on a show with onesies on. Don't do that.
You might see me. You might see me.
You'll see me and LaLa because we oftentimes wear ours.